Hello? Hello? Give me 1 second. Hello? Can you hear me? Hey, can you hear me?
Hi there, can you see me?
Good morning. I don't see you. It's your camera. Okay, let me see if it works now. Good morning, Christine. How are you?
I'm good. Can you see me now and hear me?
Can you see me?
I cannot see you, but it's probably just me needing to go to another tab. I've got too many open as usual. Yes. Great to be on. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for coming, and I appreciate your time so much. We just wrapped up a session with Perry Belcher earlier, and we were talking about you, how amazing you are.
Oh, thank you. No, he is really doing great. He's been doing a bunch of videos as well, and that I've been listening to them. I've been on a couple of his Zoom calls, and they're pretty good. Don't you like them?
I love them. Actually, that's how I got inspired to come and do this event. And I think that you're going to be a really great resource for those people in the beauty industry, because I know you do a lot of PR work. And I think it's going to be great to teach them how to actually, establish their authority in the market these days.
Yes, it's a tough time. And in fact, I was just texting back and forth with my he's a good friend of mine, and he owns a salon. He does my hair, and in Austin, and I know you're in California, correct? You're still in California. Everything's shut down, and it's so hard, especially for people who have salons. Like, how do you pivot, and it's a tough struggle. What areas can I really focus on for you? What do you really want to drive home?
By the way, you look great, considering that we're recording for a
I've just been doing so many videos lately that I'm kind of like dressed up, and it actually makes me feel better because I'm getting out of the hat and getting up and getting ready, Thank you.
Exactly. So I think it will be great if you talk a little bit about, a lot of people right now, a lot of people in the beauty industry, they will be out of the business, and we are trying to see how we can get advantage, and how you could use the resources to use the local newspaper or the local TV station for them to establish their authority as a leader on their market.
Yes, absolutely. Do you think most of the people who will be listening will have skincare lines or makeup lines or anything that's like e-commerce related, or is it really more of like salon owners and people who have built out bigger brands but do in-person stuff?
I would say 99% of the people do in-person stuff. They are esthetician, beautician practitioners. They do hair, nail, eyebrows. So they are your local esthetician.
Yes. Okay. I'm ready. So I guess we'll just have a conversation. Do you want to just ask the questions and I'll kind of go from there?
Yes. So could you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do, and how would you see that we can help those people in those tough times to, survive?
Sure. A little bit about my background. I was in TV for 15 years. I was a news anchor and investigative reporter, and then left TV about 6 years ago now, and started my own PR and video production business, and was very fortunate that my first client out the door of TV was Ryan Deiss with DigitalMarketer. And what was so fantastic about that was I learned so much about the power of the transition of using the credibility that you get on TV and putting it in front of people on mobile devices. Part of the reason why I got out of TV in the first place is because I saw the trend, like contracts were being reduced. Even as a news anchor, you're replaceable, and everything is going to mobile. And that was just 6 years ago. So basically what I learned was the power of digital marketing and the combination of using the credibility of what you have. So it's been a fun journey. I've represented pretty much all walks of life, people who want to build their brand, improve and clarify their messaging, whether it's through video or getting on podcasts or TV or the local newspaper, trying to become more of a household name without having to spend the money for advertising, instead doing it with earned media.
Yeah. So I know that you work a lot with people on their community to be able to get on a TV. Do you think this is the right time for a beautician to go? Like, how hard is for the regular Jane to get in TV right now and give 5 tips on how to do your eyebrows?
Yes, no, I understand. It can be tough, because everything is virtual. There's a bonus and then there's the cons of our situation. The bonus is that typically in the past, if you were going to do any story like that, you'd have to go into the studio and then you'd have to travel to the station and then you'd have to be part of this morning newscast. The stations are so hungry right now for new information that changes it up a little bit from the consistent COVID death kind of mentality. I think that there's more of an opportunity to pitch your story. And you get to control it by doing interviews just like this, because even the evening news anchors or the morning news anchors in most communities are sitting in studios just like I'm sitting in right now and you're sitting in, everybody's trying to make do. And so it gives you the opportunity to do a lot more content. So for example, if you're a hairdresser or you own a salon, I was just telling you before we started about a friend of mine who owns 2 salons in Austin, Texas in the 4 Seasons, and he is bleeding out money. It's really hard for him because his rent and all of these things, like he can't operate. Nobody's allowed in there. So it's impossible for him to even figure out a way to transition. So we are working with him to get him on TV and talk about how this has affected him as a business. I know it sounds like it might not be a brand builder, but it actually is, because everybody's watching the news right now, more so than ever before, because they want the updates. And if they hadn't heard of you before, or maybe they had seen you once or twice before, what ends up happening is they go and they see you in the media and they go, oh, that salon, I saw that salon on 4th Street a while back. Gosh, that must be so hard for them right now. I wonder how they're pivoting. So everybody's wondering and everybody has sympathy. So now is the time to get your message out. It's not as so much about, and my hope is in the next few weeks, we're going to have a different tone in the news. Maybe they will say, let's see what the spring style is. But right now it's so tough because a lot of people are trapped and they're like, why do I even buy an Easter outfit? Because I can't go out for Easter, so nobody's really thinking about that. But here's a tip, and maybe it's something that you guys have already thought about. He's pivoting by selling wigs. So he has a wig supplier. And so he's got some very high-end clients, of course, who, want to look good on camera, and they're professionals and they're here just like you and I trying to do video conferences, and they cannot look like a disaster. Even though everybody kind of forgives a little bit, you always want to look best. So he's selling wigs through the supplier and getting commission off of that and coloring them and sending it to people who can't necessarily or don't want to do their own hair.
Exactly. I think it's just about being creative and see how we can actually, give some tips. Like I literally ripped off my nails a few days ago because I didn't know how to take out the gel. So
yes, in fact, that's a good thing. I was thinking about that the other day. I mean, I have gel nails. They're a disaster, and I mean, I'm embarrassed by them. I don't know how to get rid of them. So I think now is a good time that you could absolutely pitch the media and say, this is what a lot of women are talking about. Like, how do I fix this when I don't have the beauty expert that I always go to? So I think that there's a lot that you can connect to COVID without necessarily talking about COVID, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's like right now we are realizing how important are those people in our lives. Like I wash my hair to dry bar, and I could see how much I depend on that place, and
Yes.
for how so long. So basically those customers that I think they are not going to do their regular, they kind of like can't wait to get back to normal.
Right. No, absolutely. And it lifts you up though, because I was, last week I was working nonstop and I just lived in Lululemon clothes and barely, threw a ponytail on, and that was it. And I think after a while, this becomes so mundane that it becomes depressing. So I almost think that a great story angle that somebody might offer, like yourself and your own community, is, message the reporters. And we can talk in a little bit if you want about how to pitch. But I would message those reporters and say, I've got an idea how to lift up people and make them feel better mentally, and the connection between mental and physical health. So I think that there's a lot of those things that are out there where you can actually do those transitions and pivot the story for the media. Do you want me to talk a little bit about like how to reach the reporters?
Yeah, that would be great. Yes.
Okay. So there are all kinds of different opportunities. I think that there's a national opportunity for so many people out there. Like I said, this mind-body connection. I think a great angle is Easter. Easter's around the corner and people can't go anywhere. And they're going to want to feel maybe pretty and at least take some pictures. And so, pitch the reporter or the writer on a national level or in your hometown about easy tricks that you can do at home to make you feel like you have a beauty experience, and how to do it for kids too, like little girls. How do you do their hair for the Easter pictures? Because even though, we can't go out necessarily, we can go out in the front yard and take pictures still and remember the time with our kids. So that might be a great angle. There's something called HARO, which is Help a Reporter Out, and that's HARO. In that, it's helpareporter.com. And if you go to that website and just subscribe for free, you can go in and you will get a daily list of all of the bloggers, the writers, the reporters out there who are actually looking for daily stories and daily content. The topics are, and it can be beauty. In many cases, it's like beauty products. They'll ask for samples, but they'll do a story on you for spring and summer. In some cases, it's about business. And I think this is a really good conversation too, back to that one about how your business has been affected. That's where you can get your name in Forbes or Inc. And sometimes it's a lot in New York Post. I see New York Post constantly asking for requests of business owners to give them quotes for the day. And the deadline is usually 24 hours or so, and it's right on there. But it really is a great resource. It's all free. It gives you specific instructions from the writer or the producer that says, I want 2 or 3 sentences about this subject matter. And then you submit that. Don't write too much. Try to follow the directions. They might ask for a headshot. They might ask for a logo with that. Just really follow those directions to a T. I have had so many of my students, since I do teach this type of thing to my students in my Facebook group, Media Max Out, Media MAX Out. If you want to join, we give daily tips on how to do this for free. But anyway, so you're going to look there. That's a great resource. If you want, say you live in Macon, Georgia, and maybe you watch the NBC affiliate. I actually have a client that lives in Macon, Georgia. So I know that the NBC affiliate is the #1 station there. It's the regular. So go on, look for their bios on the website. And I think that station actually has in the bios of each individual talent the email address for reaching them. Sometimes they don't put that on there and it makes it kind of difficult to reach them, but always try to email. Try not to call so much because, everybody's busy and everybody texts, but very few people actually pick up the phone anymore. So email first. And then what I always say, going back to this Macon, Georgia example, is look for a headline that connects with them. Like feedback on your story from last night. That's always a clue to a reporter. I always give this tip and people laugh, but it's the truth. So when I was an investigative reporter, I was constantly worried that somebody was going to be angry with my story, or that I missed something in my story, or, something. You're always like second guessing everything. And so when I would get an email that said feedback or concerns about your story last night or suggestions or something like that, I immediately opened it because I was like, oh God, what did I miss? It's the human nature of being a reporter. And, normally it was always fine, or somebody always had some kind of political opinion. But my point is it gets their attention in a way that other headlines do not. So I would say feedback from your story last night or feedback from your story this week. My tip is make sure you know the reporter or the writer that you're talking to. So actually read on the website one of their recent stories. Watch the video, because they'll post it on their bio usually, like stories that they've filed in the past week, or just online, or if you watch them traditionally on TV, which I encourage people to try to do, you'll know like they covered a story about the impact of COVID on small businesses or something like that. Give them one sentence there where you say, I just wanted to let you know, I saw your story on X, Y, and Z, and I thought it was really good. It brought a new perspective. I also want to offer up an angle from my own perspective. And then you can do probably like one paragraph or so connected to that. I always, it's kind of like that book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. They always say, make sure when you're in a conversation, it really should be more about the person that you're talking to instead of yourself. If you do all the talking, then you end up kind of being disengaged in their mindset. So you want to compliment them, make it about them, let them know that you really are educated about what you're pitching to and the market. So you don't sound like, hey boy, it's been raining pretty much every day and it's sunny and shiny, in Macon, Georgia. So you really want to know your market, know the person you're pitching. Then, have that pitch in there about, in this case, if it was the Easter idea, COVID-19 has caused a lot of my clients. I, own a hair salon, and a lot of my clients are already reaching out to me wondering how to fix their color at home or look pretty coming up for Easter, or tips on how to make their kids look good for Easter pictures, given the fact that we're in shelter in place. I want to offer up a couple of ideas. Now, if you have done YouTube videos or Instagram videos or something like that, this is a great place if you've not been in the media before to show that. So you're going to give the sample of those videos right there in the bottom and say, here's some video where I haven't been on TV before, but I know I have a lot to offer. Here are some videos that I offer to my followers or viewers. And then that's it. Now, put your name, your contact information, and the cell phone number. The biggest thing is you want to make sure that you're always available. So if you're going to pitch it, I always give this tip, and I guess it's not relevant right now, but for the future, once we're out of this mess, if you're going to pitch, make sure you're not traveling out of town that coming week. Because if they come back to you and say, okay, yeah, that's a great story, we'd love to do it tomorrow, and you say, oh, sorry, I'm traveling, for business for the next week, how about we revisit this? Then you've really just blown your opportunity. In this case, nobody's gonna be traveling for anything right now, but going forward, that education will serve you if, you pitch this next year. So anyway, that's my biggest suggestion, is just compliment, recognize what they do. If maybe you went to the same college, any kind of connection that you have to establish some personal connection within the first sentence. I wouldn't go on and on and on, but find a way to connect with that person so it's not just like some robotic email. It's just the same thing as digital marketing. We know how to write engaging emails through digital marketing now. Good headlines, solid content, engage the person who's reading it. Same thing for a news or a TV reporter.
Thank you so much, Christine. I think they're like very insightful and really good tips for everybody, not only in the beauty industry. Based on your knowledge and like years of experience in this industry, what other small tips people can have that they can pivot right away and help them to, establish their authority on their community would you have for them?
So very easy is finding ways to contribute on online sites. A lot of people are sitting at home going, God, what do I do? And it's kind of shiny object syndrome. Everybody wants to pivot. They don't know how to pivot. The best thing you can do is really make a list at home of all the things that you know very well. Sometimes, like my friend who is the owner of the hair salon, he is amazing at color. He's like a professional color. He travels for L'Oreal or one of those big brands. You guys know that world better than I do, but that's his expertise. So that's where I always tell him, okay, here's your foundation. This is where you write down all the skills that your thing at. And honestly, you can talk about anything at this point, because people like me, I'll read anything. But what do you want to be known for in a year? Where do you want to be in 6 months from all of this? Like, when this is done, think of how much you could do to serve yourself and your brand for when everything opens back up. So there's a list, and I have a list in my on my website, and I can give you a link to it, of like all of the places where you can submit articles for free. So BuzzFeed has this, the Today Show platform, which is the Today Show online website. You can to be a contributor. TED, like TEDx, they have an online platform. You can submit your articles for free. So that's what a lot of people don't know. Thrive Global is another one. You can submit your things. They're a little bit more cautious. Like it's possible that they would reject you if the topic wasn't right for their platform. But these are things that you can do right now, today, and just find those websites. And I have a list of all of them on my site in my Facebook group. If anybody wants to join, again, it's Media Max Out. I'll email DM you the list for free. It's just a great site of all these places that you can go and go, okay, I can contribute here. So you follow the submission rules, and then, write your article. And literally, like if it's the Today Show, especially for parenting articles and that type of thing, for maybe how to make your kids or your family picture look good for Easter, perfect timing, because the Today Show platform has that. Write your article and put your headshot in there, and you literally will be published the same day. So then you put that on your website, or you put that on your social media and say, I was just published on the Today Show website, and take a look at my idea. From there, you can use that to pitch the media, which I think is perfect, because then you can show some credibility of what you've already accomplished and show you really know your stuff. But that's stuff that we can do today. We can be sitting at home today and feeling like we're lost. Nope, you could be building your brand right now and using these articles, and then run ad spend to it, run some Facebook ads to it if you want to.
I think that's really great. And I never knew about that list, and that you could be like in BuzzFeed like that. I thought that you need to, work a lot to do that, but that's really amazing to know. And again, where everybody, if you guys want to join, what was your group again?
Media Max Out, and I can text it over to you or on DM, and we can put it up there. But it's Media Max Out,
great.
And it's all free content. And I have a course that I've been working on, and I haven't put it out yet, but it's basically how to get your own TV and media podcasts, all of the stuff we're talking about, in a few hours of video tutorials.
That would be great. Whatever you're gonna have it, I'm gonna post it in the community, because I think it's so helpful for people that they don't have a business background or like a marketing background like us to understand. But it's so important, because once you establish your authority by local media and the newspapers and the local TV station, you can leverage that on your advertising material. And I think it's really great for them to become the leaders on their local market.
Well, I honestly, it's tough, because sometimes people get paralyzed in fear right now. Like, will my business really recover? And, it's interesting. I've kind of pivoted over, and not intentionally, but over the last few months, with all this happening, I've had my clients come to me and say, can you do some business consulting and branding consulting for me, as opposed to just getting them on TV? And I've really had a lot of fun with it. But I just challenge these clients to look at the fact that, we're in a bad spot right now, but we're not going to be there forever. And the moment we start thinking ahead about what we want our brand and our business to look like when those doors open again, and what our competitors might have done while they were home. If you haven't done a YouTube channel, start launching it. If you don't have Instagram strong with videos and tutorials, launch it now. These are the times where you got to get in front of people. Everybody's on their mobile device. I think I saw a statistic that screen watching time was up like 42% or something like that on their phones, because everybody's bored and they're just like, oh God, what do I do? This is the time to get in front of them. And then think about it. Your competitors might be home twirling their thumbs thinking, oh, life is over and my business is not going to get the loan. And if they don't get the loan, they're not going to come back. What if you do get the loan? What if it comes in 30 days and you've got the money and you're ready? You're wasting time. I always say, I'm not necessarily the smartest, person in the world. I didn't graduate from Harvard. I have once Emmys in investigative journalism, and I have had that. But my biggest personal talent is hustle. Like now, it's easy to get scared, but I just keep driving home the fact that we've got to get past this, and sitting there just sitting and thinking about how negative things are is not going to get us anywhere. So I want to come out thinner. I want to come out prepared, and I want to come out with more clients and helping more people and having a bigger Rolodex of video to give as free content to my clients. I'm not wasting time here. And I think anybody who is going to regret it in 3 to 6 months.
I think majority of us that we understand the hustle. I don't have a Harvard background either, and I graduated law and I'm in the beauty industry, so I have nothing to do with like this industry. Like it's not my background. But I think like once you hustle and you put 101% of what you have, I
Yeah.
think it's hard work pays off, especially these times when everybody take this time for granted and actually it's not. It's your work, you know.
Yes. Well, and you know, and I know your background, and you are a superstar in that area. And I mean, that's why I'm so excited to be on this. And hopefully, people will feel the energy. You know, you had Perry Belcher, you said on prior to that, and then I was on another Zoom call with Jay Abrams and Roland Frazier. There might be something that your viewers might want to log into as well if you go to Roland Frazier's
Roland is
Instagram.
coming on tomorrow. Yes.
Oh, perfect. He'll
Yeah.
talk. I just love these things because it's better than watching the news. Think about the positivity that we're getting from other people and ideas that we didn't have. I was on one of those calls, and my question for my business was, should I pivot and start providing more of X, Y, and Z because I see a need there now than what I normally do? And Roland and Mark Anthony got on and they said, no, people need media now more than ever. In fact, you should increase your charges. And I was like, I feel bad charging anybody right now because everybody is in a bad spot. And they're like, but you're going to make superstars. And it is true. I do see the value in what happens, but it's hard for me, you know, with you just feel for people and you know that they're in a bad spot. It's like, I mean, I know I got to make money, but I want to help you. So I try to just give as much as I can for free in content. But just have to say, like, the biggest value that we all can get and give right now is just positivity.
I think it's so amazing, and I can't agree more with you because in a world where all the media try to create a chaos and panic people by being calm and strategic and take it as it is and control what you could focus on what you could control rather than what you cannot control, I think is the key to survive and, you know, like see what's the best out for you there, you know.
So, and I have to ask, I'm sure many of your viewers are from all over the country or even the world, but for your, you know, inner circle, what are they doing right now with the stylist that they had on staff? Like, how do you pivot, or what thoughts are you having between the next few weeks?
I mean, for my thoughts over here, they're like engage as much as you can with your local community because communities are so important. Especially, you know, you go to your local esthetician for 5 years and you won't change her for nothing on the earth because she knows everything about your skin and all your secrets and all the fights with your kids. So they're like become part of our family. Those people that they serve us, like I would not trade my membership to Dry Bar for anything in this earth because I go to those girls and I wash my hair 3 times a week. And I think by, you know, if somebody will reach to me, be like, hey, I hope you're safe and your family is fine. By the way, your hair is a little bit dry. Why don't you use this oil for, you know, for your roots? Like, I literally don't even know how to wash my hair or like dry my hair. I haven't done that in like 10 years. But if somebody will reach me like now and be like, hey, by the way, when you brush your hair, do that, I will marry her. Like I will be like, this is like the best thing that she could do to me, or like how to remove this gel from my nails that, you know, like actually this is very good. Like let's say you do the waxing or something, you could send a text to your friend, to your you know customers, be like, by the way, do not wax your eyebrows. I promise I will take care of them as soon as this is over, so people don't ruin theirs, you know, peel off the gel, or like, because we are not professionals, we don't know how to do it, you know.
Yeah, and eyelash extensions too. So I used to have eyelash extensions, and I'm really fortunate that right now I don't, because during that time where you can't get them filled in, they're all over the place, and then they can be irritable to your eyes. So I think that's a really good content for any submission of an article that anybody wants to do, or TV pitch of like, think of 3 things that women do consistently that they cannot do now, but they're forced to do on their own. Hair dye, like, what do? Do you go out and try to dye your own hair because you come back and those doors open and your hairdresser goes, oh my God, what have you done?
Exactly.
You know, I mean, it happens. What about nails? I saw an article, and I was just talking about this. I was thinking, God, if I could come up with a product for this. I was thinking, you know, everybody's talking about hand sanitizer. The longer your nails are and the misshapen that they are, the more they hold bacteria. So they were saying that, it's sad, but you have to like cut your nails if you can in order to prevent the spread of COVID, because that bacteria or virus can live under your nails. Disgusting, but it's the truth. And we're all like worried about this. So that's a really good angle if you're a nail tech or if you do nails, how to make sure that your nails are in good shape that keep you hygienic. Different tips that you guys, that's the thing, like you guys know so much about how to make things work, and we take it for granted because you know how it is. You go in, you get your nails done, you get your pedicure, and you're just like, okay, an hour and a half later, you're better. Now I'm like, I don't even know how to even take this off, and how did that even get on? And what if I, once you take them off, if my nail bed is cracked? Like these are little tips that you can blog about, you can write about, you can post about. Just a great idea to give some insight to people who really need it right now.
And actually, I just got an idea now while talking with you. If I will be a lash technician, what I will do, I will invest in lash removal and ship it and mail it to all your customers. You will invest the best $3 of your life in that thing, because if you save those people eyelashes right now, guess where they're gonna come back when this is gonna end? They're gonna come back to you and they're gonna pay a full set. So if you like are willing to do something that nobody else does for them, people will not take it for granted.
That's right. And I know that Revitalash was one of those serums that you can buy over the counter. You can maybe send it to your customers, not for free, but send out an email and say, if you're, here's the remover that we gave you. If you're interested in, trying to get by with your, making your lashes healthier until I see you next, here it is. And then I think that there's an affiliate commission that you can get off of that. So yeah, that might be something that, you can get just for some passive income as you wait it through. But you're right about the eyelash remover, because I did that myself. I just kind of was like picking at my eyelashes when I had my eyelashes on, and I had like, looked like a chainsaw went through. I had to get Latisse and grow them out again, and you can really do some damage.
Yeah, because think like you're paying for your eyelashes. Let's say your eyelashes, you pay like $1,000 a year.
Yeah.
Like if you go to the refill, so that's how much is the average of somebody paying for their eyelashes a year. Think how much is like a $5 investment to have that customer like forever, because once you build a relationship with your customer, you'll never need to be worried about money for the rest of your life, I feel.
That's right. That's right. And it right now is the time where the more you give, we will reap those rewards later, because you're building your brand, you're building the connection. And I personally believe video is just so powerful. I mean, even if you do send out those emails and like a $3 lash remover, as you said, I don't know how much that costs, but if that's the case, send out a video in your email or text message to your clients and say, I'm thinking of you. I wanted to let you know that I'm here for you. Have that visual connection, because we are all getting so many COVID related emails these days that have just gotten so frustrating, at least in my perspective. It's like, oh my God, another email alert that somebody cleaned their, restaurant. Great. I mean, it's not serving me. So if you do that video connection and provide some value, and you know how it is, you have a relationship with the person that you go to, the person who does my eyebrows. I mean, I like her. I talk to her. I give her gift cards, when I can. Continue that face-to-face, even if it's through video, because it's powerful.
It is. I agree. And, like Perry was mentioning earlier as well, people remember when you were there when nobody else was for them, So right. I think it's really important for like customer retention and like build a relationship with them,
Yeah, absolutely. And, taking a page out of Perry's stuff, I don't know, it might be fun. If your salon ends up hosting like a happy hour, Zoom happy hour, just for people to catch up and talk to each other about, maybe even if it's 25 of your top clients, hey, we how are you surviving? We want to just chat. Let's get on a happy hour and let's see your roots or something. Maybe a challenge of like, who can show me their hair, or, something like that to engage them and stay in front of their face and give them some hope. And it's more fun that way, as opposed to the negative stuff. But then you could do that tip stuff like, okay, this is stuff you can do if you have curly hair. This is stuff that you can do if you, have extensions that have grown out. I mean, that's the other thing for me. I mean, what about extensions? People have that and then they're going to be ripping them out if they have tape-ins, and then that's bad. So hairdressers are taking a page on what you said, maybe send the extension removal solution to your clients as well.
Yes, I think like anything, as long as you share that you care about your people, I think it's really helpful, on those times. And Christine, I know you're really busy. I don't want to take a lot of your time, but what would be your last thoughts about how they can survive right now, and whenever this is over, they could be relevant for anyone in the beauty industry?
I mean, I think it's really all about positioning. So you want to, find a mentor, find somebody that really gets business and sets themselves up for the right thing. I used to be, even when I was a teenager, I started listening to Tony Robbins. And if anybody's listened to him, he's the personal power guy, the guy with the big teeth, as he puts it. But I've always kind of created my own mindset about business from what I learned listening to tapes, and dating myself, but it's true. I was listening to tapes when I would run and listen to him. But he talks about not recreating the wheel and finding the right mentor. Even if you never physically hire them or meet them, find the right books, find the right audio. I mean, YouTube is the perfect example of pretty much anything you want. You type it in and you can get an answer or a perspective on. So you can teach yourself so many new things right now that you don't need to go to a library for, and like we used to. So all of the tools are at your fingertips. I think structure right now is the biggest thing I'm hearing a lot of people really struggle with, because they may have kids at home. It's loud, the house is, do we do laundry? How do we keep that work day, so to speak? Because even if you're not technically working, I think it's a really good idea to have a routine and block out those times where it's like between 10 and 12, I'm listening to X, Y, and Z, or I'm taking some educational courses. DigitalMarketer, as Perry probably mentioned too, or if you have Ryan Dice on, it's right now doing a free sign up. So basically, if you want to learn digital marketing, Facebook ads, email, list recruitment, that type of thing, go to digitalmarketer.com. And all of their courses right now, or at least I think most of them, are for free. And that's amazing, because you can basically teach yourself all of these tools that you'd have to normally pay somebody else to do, and it'll help you get some advice on how to get in front of people. So that's really a good tip. I just say learn, learn, learn. Use this time right now to really educate. It's easy to talk about the doom and gloom, and it's easy to think, God, where are we going to be if this happens, this happens? We can't change it. The only thing we can change is how we react and how we pivot. And the only way to do that is hustle and learn and be ready for it, because I really truly believe everything's going to be okay. It's going to be, not pretty on the economy side, but if we teach ourselves how to stand out, it's going to pay off dividends.
And I agree. And I think the amount of knowledge that people can take advantage of these days, I saw Harvard Business School have courses for free. Like,
yes.
You and I, like, we spent hundreds of thousands of dollars. I went to the war room meetings to get those people, to learn from them and build my business. And now they're all coming and doing those things for you guys for free, so you could take advantage of it and like help you to, like you said, focus on what's positive out of what those people bring on the table, rather than watch all those pandemic dramas. Are we gonna die? I don't know if we're gonna die, but can you do something about it? Just wash your hands, I guess. It's nothing we could do.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's easy to get overwhelmed, but then I think about it, it's like every day we have a chance of getting in the car and dying in a car wreck. We don't paralyze ourselves and get scared about going out because we think about that statistic. So let's think about that in that frame of mind. Like, most likely everything's going to be just fine. So take the precautions and really ramp up, because, it's like a fighter, whoever is doing more push-ups and fighting and preparing for the fight, when they get in the ring, who's going to win? It's the one who prepared. So that's how I look at it.
And that's how I look at it too. Like, be prepared and do your thing, brush your teeth, wash your hands, and focus on the positivity, because at the end of the day, you can't control it.
That's
like
right.
It is what it is. And I will see it just like an advantage of, go big now when nobody else does, and when everybody else panic and back off. You should go big, or I don't know, if you want to stay home, but I'm going big.
Yes, absolutely. Well, I mean, think about it. If you get yourself or you hire someone like me to get into TMZ about some of these things that are trending, or, whatever you can do at home, you're in TMZ and your competitors are at home complaining. I mean, all of this will get you major exposure. If you're featured even from Harrow, like I said, New York Post is constantly looking for ideas. That's free. There's no excuse. Just go, sign up to Harrow, find the contributions that you can submit to, and do it. I mean, that's where you're going to stand out and be like, well, what happened to you during the pandemic? Well, I was featured in TMZ and I was featured on New York Post, and my brand is going to, come back, and so think of that way.
Exactly. I would say, like, whatever you prepare is whatever you're gonna have when all is over. And sooner or later, it's gonna be over. Like, look at the China. Everybody got back to work. Like, people are like, it's gonna end. We don't know when, but it's going.
Yes, absolutely. It's just a matter of time. We just have to wait it out and be smart about it.
Yeah, I agree. Well, Christine, thank you so much for your time. And if somebody wants to reach you out, where they can reach you and learn more about how they can, become the leader in this community through PR.
Yes, absolutely. So Media Max Out is the Facebook group. And given the fact that I do this consistently, I give out my cell phone number. It's super easy to text me and I can send you links to stuff. My phone number is 512-751-1592, 512-751-1592. Or you can go to my web.
We're gonna post it, like somebody from the admin is gonna post it. And you guys, if you have any questions for her right now, please post it on our Facebook group, because before we are wrapping up, because I can't follow all the streaming links.
That has been tough for me, is trying to figure out how to get in the chat and Zoom. And then my website is christinehaas.com, and it's Haas like the avocado with 2 A's and 1 S. So I'm happy to answer any questions. I have a video series that I'm launching, or have started launching, where I'm interviewing people like Ryan Dice, Roland Frazier. I'm interviewing Justin Laguirre, I think tomorrow. He's like the Amazon bestseller. Like, he made $1 million or $10 million in one day. He's amazing at the e-commerce side and can really talk about that. So if you follow me on Facebook or LinkedIn, you'll see that daily content, and it's all free. It's just, I'm trying to, interview these great people to consistently keep my mindset in the right place, because they're so inspiring. And just like yourself, I mean, it's like, I love being around people who are focusing on how to improve. It's just the best thing. So anyway, feel free to follow me, and always ask questions. I'll help try to answer them as well.
Christine, second time when I'm reaching to you within 1 year. I thank you so much. You're an amazing human being, and thank you for supporting me and for the kind words. And I will talk with you soon. Guys, if you need to reach out to her, she's really amazing, and she's probably the best on her field.
Thank you. Well, I appreciate that. I work hard. That I can promise you.
You're a hustler, don't we all?
Exactly.
Thank you, Christine.
Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Guys, we're gonna see soon with our next speaker. Let me see who is it. It's Carla Pushkash. She's a fellow artist. She's an entrepreneur. She works on 2 continents. She's really amazing. We're gonna see her in a little bit. Please make sure that you're watching the group and you're posting your questions in the group, because I cannot follow all the threads where you guys are posting questions. So I want to make sure that your questions will be answered. So you just want to make sure that you're on that group. We're gonna post the links individual. They're gonna be YouTube links for every single speaker. So you just want to make sure that you're watching the threads whenever we are posting them. I'm gonna run to prepare the presentation with Carla, and I'm gonna see you guys soon.